this is Vallisa from Lyca Radio, and today I'm here with the amazing Armaan Malik. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Now, earlier I was looking at all the things you do, right? You're a singer-songwriter, a record producer, a voiceover artist, so we might need to get you here at Lyca to do a radio show, potentially. A performer. Now this one intrigued me. A dancer.
Yeah.
So you know we're going to make you dance a little bit later on, right?
I don't mind. Now that I have moves.
And an actor. So that's a lot. That's a lot to do. Which part of that do you enjoy the most?
I would say the just singing and doing music is something that's really close to my heart. But off late, I'm really enjoying dancing. Especially with my last record, Nakre Nakre, which was a proper, dance pop song. And I found, I had moves in me. I knew I had moves in me, but I just found this love for dancing and just expressing myself through dancing. And I think that's something that I really, really enjoy right now.
Which is really funny because I think it's something to do with reels as well, because I've started randomly dancing to stuff. And before I wasn't dancing at all. I stopped for years, and then I was like, ooh, I can do these Instagram reels.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the rage right now. But it's actually, it's not because of reels that I got into dancing. It's actually, I love dancing, and I just never found the right moves to express my vibe. And I've always known to be the guy with the guitar singing love songs. So I just wanted to keep that away and just do something different. And I feel really liberated now as an artist.
Love that. Now, you sing in Hindi, Telugu, English, Bengali. Loads. I'm not even going to name them all. But how do you pick which song you're going to sing in what language?
So the way it works is that people approach me with songs in different projects in different movies, and I get a bunch of songs, and I choose the one that I really gravitate towards. It doesn't need to necessarily be from a very big movie or feature on a big actor. It just needs to be the right song, and I feel that's what works in the end. When someone listens to my music online, on streaming platforms, and they should just be like, okay, wow, that's a cool song. External factors shouldn't matter, even though it does. Obviously, a song being from a big movie does matter, and the song becoming big eventually. But I think a song is a song, and if a song is a really good song, it does well.
And you come from a musical background. Of course, your dad's in music, your brother's in music.
Yeah.
Did you always feel that you were going to do something in music? Because you were 4 years old when you first went on to Saregama Little Champs.
Well, all of them were into music. They were into music composition. I was the first one to be the singer from the family. I kind of deviated from, what my family was known for. My Dadaji Shri Sardar Malik was a composer. My uncle Anu Malik, my dad, Amal, my other uncle as well, they're all into music composition. But I was the first one from the family to kind of do singing, and I found my love in performance and vocal stuff. So I would say that it was always a thing that when I was growing up I wanted to be a musician, but singing was my focus. Singing was what I wanted to do.
You were the one that said, I'm going to break away from the norm. I'm going to do something different.
Always. Yeah, that's always been me. I've always been someone who's not done things that people usually think I should be doing or would be doing.
And actually, I was sitting with Tulsi Kumar the other day, and she was saying how amazingly you sing in English. And of course, you went to Boston to study. Did you think it was important for you to go and study abroad rather than just in India?
Firstly, thank you, Tulsi. That means a lot, and lots of love to you. I love your voice as well. Tulsi, actually, we've done a few songs together, and it's great that that you brought her name up and brought that little comment that she made, because we've done such beautiful songs together, and it plays all the time on your airwaves as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of love to her. And yeah, coming to the question, sorry, I went into a Tulsi affection moment there. Studying outside did make a difference, because you are in an atmosphere, an environment where there are a lot of musicians from different parts of the world coming with their flavor, and you're from India. I have a background in Indian classical music, and I had an affinity for Western pop. And when I was studying there, I was just mingling with different people from different parts of the world, and it just felt like, wow, music is not just Bollywood or just the stuff I've grown up listening. It's so much more, and I think that really opened up my my head, and as a musician, I feel like that was the changing point for me as a singer. Uh, I started writing songs after that in English, and that was at the age of 14, 15, and now here I am, releasing songs in English and doing some really cool collaborations.
And do you think that really helped you as well? Because then even when you're pronunciating stuff in English, the pronunciation is so much better as well because you studied abroad.
It could be. I would say it's not just because I studied abroad that my pronunciation in English is so good. I think it's more about I listened to a lot of records. Like growing up, I was listening to Frank Sinatra, Michael Bublé, John Mayer, Bruno Mars, and this was my like early inspiration as a musician. And I think that's what cultivated my ear, my taste for singing. And growing up, everyone used to say, oh, when Indian people sing English, it doesn't sound okay, it sounds a little bit cringy, is what people used to say. And I fought really hard with myself and like, okay, I'm gonna sing to a point where people don't ever have to say that comment about Indian singers.
Definitely.
And I worked really hard on my craft, and now it's just like, when I sing an English song, there's just a switch in my head, and I sing it probably like everyone else in the world sings English.
And obviously you've done a lot of Bollywood, you still do Bollywood, but in 2020 you came out with like How Many?
Yeah.
And then was it very daunting for you to go into that realm of something different to the Bollywood?
It was, but also in a cool, exciting way, because I was probably the only artist at that point doing something which was not expected out of Indian artists. And I've always been that kind of an artist. I want to do something that people are like, oh, what? Armaan did that. I want to do stuff that challenges me and also pushes the envelope. And I feel Indian artists are destined for much more than they already have gotten. I never felt like I was just a Bollywood singer, even though I am Armaan Malik because of Bollywood playback songs. But I felt like I'm much more than just that, just being a voice and of an actor. I wanted to be my own artist, putting out my own songs, my own feelings into words and putting it out there. And just like how Western artists do, I think a lot of Indian artists have that dream. And for a long time, they couldn't realize it. And a lot of artists come up to me today and say like, hey Armaan, you did that, and that gave me confidence to do my music. And I'm like, okay, doing something like that, if that's woken up 100 artists in India and been like, okay, if Armaan's doing it, why can't we? Why shouldn't we?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of catalyst that I wanted to create. And it's not just a personal thing that, okay, I want to do something different for myself. I feel like the Indian scene needs to grow globally. And I think if in any way I could you could have contributed to that, I feel really grateful.
And the other thing is, like, I feel like once your song's in a Bollywood film, and you're doing quite a few Bollywood films, there's sort of a limit to where you can then go if you don't start trying to take it globally.
Yeah, I mean, you will end up sounding the same over and over again, because the thing with Bollywood is, it's a great industry, but once they see success with you in a certain type of genre, they're going to milk it out.
Yeah.
Same thing almost happened with me, is that I was really popular in the romantic love song space, and a lot of times everyone, when they approach you with a song, they're like, okay, can we do something like a Bol Do Na Zara, can we do something like a Sab Tera, or can you sing it exactly the way you sang it in Main Hu Hero Tera? And I'm like, okay, that happened then, but it's not gonna happen in this song because I can't repeat myself.
Yeah.
Not because I can't, I just don't want to. But when I leave a musical footprint, in this world, I want people to listen to my music and be like, okay, he did all of that and not just one type of music.
You have a variety.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's in a way it is something that makes you, but also unfortunate that it limits you as well, because I am Armaan Malik, the love song singer and the Bollywood ballad crooner, but also that's not just me. There's so much more to me than just that. And if you don't try doing different things, people won't see you as anything else but that.
Definitely. And one thing that stood out to me was, you know, when you were a child and you watch a Disney film and you feel, oh, I want to be that actor, or I want to sing a song, and you start singing out the songs and you think you can sing. You actually done that. You got to sing for Lion King and Aladdin.
Yes.
How did that feel?
On top of the world, to be honest. I was the voice, the speaking and singing voice of Aladdin. And for Lion King, Aryan Khan was the speaking voice and I was the singing voice. And for Simba. And I got to go and attend the premiere in LA, and it was such a surreal moment for me because I've been doing voiceover work since I was a kid, and just being able to voice such iconic Disney pictures was something that I've always had on my checklist. I'm like, okay, I got to do this, and it really happened. And when I was in LA, I met up with the crew. I had a one-on-one interview with Jon Favreau, who's the director. And while I was on the red carpet, after me was Beyonce, and I was like, okay, cool. I think I've arrived in a way.
Yeah, definitely. If Beyonce's standing behind you and you're first, you've definitely made it.
No, but I was like, they're gonna rush me in 2 minutes. I know, I don't have enough time here.
Now, at the moment, you're working simultaneously in Bollywood and doing English stuff as well.
Yeah.
How is that working on both? Because obviously you have to be in different mindsets to do different things.
Yeah, and that's a question I get asked a lot of times now that I've started singing in English. Like, how do I divide my time and how do I approach these projects? And for me, it's just, I don't know, it's very instinctive, and it just happens with a click in my head. And I'm like, okay, English song today, I'll sing. I have that setting in my brain and that goes on. And then if it's Telugu song or a Hindi song, I approach it that way. But yeah, it is very, very tough to juggle all these different industries. I keep myself really busy, and I think it's a good problem to have.
Definitely. And one thing that I know is on your Instagram at the moment, so I know how excited you are about this. You done a remix of Ed Sheeran's Two Step.
Yes.
And then you got to go to his concert, you got to meet him. How did that feel? That must have been so surreal.
I mean, Ed Sheeran, it doesn't get bigger than that.
Yeah.
He is the biggest artist in the world, and his music has inspired me a lot. His songwriting is epic, and I'm so glad that I got to do a song with him, and I got to meet him and talk to him about music. And he loves India. He wants to come to India very soon, and he's like, we're gonna hang out when I'm in India. And it's so cool to see that an artist of that stature is so warm and so welcoming. And he actually asked me when we met that, have you been doing this for a long time? And I'm like, yeah, it's been ages since I've been doing music, and it's an honor to kind of like do something with you. And he was like, the pleasure was mine. I really loved your work on Two Step, and it's probably one of my favorite remixes of all the remixes that have come out. So that was a big thing coming from
Big compliment, that is. Yeah, definitely. Now, your fans are absolutely, I don't even know the word to describe them, because today when I put up a post
I saw the activity
and I saw how many people are commenting, so I've actually pulled some of their questions because I felt like your fans know you the best. They know the questions that you've answered.
I think they know me better than me.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like the questions that they've asked are questions that you obviously have not answered anywhere else. So that means we're going to get some exclusives now.
Well, let's do it.
Okay. So what is your dream venue to perform at?
Madison Square Garden, New
Oh,
York.
I'm coming to that concert.
Yeah.
New York is my favourite, so I'm coming there.
Fingers crossed it'll happen soon.
What musician do you admire the most and why?
I would say Ed Sheeran, because it's very rare to see an artist of that stature who has accomplished so much and is still so humble and is always willing to push the envelope and do something different. He sings A Shape of You and A Bad Habit, and then he also sings A Perfect and A Thinking Out Loud, and Joker and the Queen, and the different zones all together, and he still makes it happen, and that magic is just beautiful. So I really admire Ed Sheeran, and after seeing him in concert, my respect has just gone way above.
So does that mean that we may just see like an Armaan Malik Ed Sheeran like collab coming?
Yeah, like an official collab. I hope that it happens soon. I mean, we've already broken the ice and we've met and we've done a remix together. But yeah, a proper official collaboration, I hope that will happen soon.
And what is your opinion about covers?
They're good. I mean, I've done my fair share of covers online, and the only thing is that I've never overdone covers because then people just look at you as a cover artist and not as an original artist, and that has happened way too often with a lot of like bands and artists that they're known for their covers but never for their originals. And I think that's not a nice place to be when you have original music and you want to like reach out to fans. So I would say do it, but in moderation. Yeah.
What about remixes then of like say older songs?
We've all been part of this whole debate, whether recreations or remixes should happen. The thing is, actually, remixes are very different. The terminology is often like confusing because people mix up remixes and remakes. Remix is basically the same song but on a different beat. You always hear like a EDM remix of a song or a hip hop remix. So that's cool. I mean, that's just envisioning a song in a different beat. Remake is basically taking the song, dissecting it, and putting a mix into it and like changing up the song a little bit while also keeping the original elements in it. So I've done a lot of remakes as well because that was what was working in the Bollywood industry, so we were all part of it. But I don't particularly enjoy it a lot. I mean, once in a while I still have a few that come out because you have to do it if you're part of the system. If you don't, then you just you just left behind. You don't do stuff. So in order to move forward in the industry, you got to do some of those. But I tend not to do a lot of it because I want my originals to shine. But having said that, I think if it's done tastefully, it's good. Yeah.
Actually, I have my own word for that. When I'm on radio, I call them refixes. I'm like, here's a refix of the song, so if you like it, you like it, and if you don't like it, it's okay.
But to be honest, there was nothing to be fixed in that song.
Oh man, now next time I go on radio, I'll have to rethink about that one. The next question is, how do you think social media, I actually really like this question, how do you think social media has changed the music industry?
Oh, it's changed the music industry a lot. I mean, today people are making music for reels. People are making short songs so that it can stick faster with people. The attention span has just gone down. So I would say social media is dictating a lot of the creativity, with the artists. And even though, I really feel like we shouldn't compromise on like our creativity and quality just because certain trends in the social media world, tell you to do that. But it is something that you can't negate today. I mean, if you got to promote a song, you have to promote it on Reels or TikTok or whatever. Obviously, TikTok is banned in India, so we don't use it much. But Reels is like the platform where a lot of songs, including my new song Nakre Nakre and which just got a new Hindi version as well. So all of it is doing really well on Reels, and that's somewhat now the barometer of like success in the industry. If the song is doing well on these platforms, it's like, oh yeah, the song is doing well.
And also like the hook step, because if there's a certain part of the song that you can then put some moves
as
to,
then
people want to make reels just on that hook step and try and do their best.
The thing is, it's like herd mentality, to be honest. You see a couple of people doing it and you see the views that they have on that, and then it starts trending and they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to do one because it is trending and because it's cool. That is one section of the audience. There's another section who really follow the artist and they really love the song and they want to do a reel on it. And then there's an audience that just wants to do a reel just like because they want to do a reel. So, I mean, it's just how your song engages with people. It could be a move. It could also be an emotion. I think with my new song, Tu/You, the Hindi and the English version, what really happened was that people really got invested in the song, and it felt very personal to them. So I saw a lot of videos where people were compiling all the most precious moments from their life in like a carousel and like putting it up as a video, and it wasn't a proper dance move or whatever. There was like one thing happening like this which we came up with, me and my team. But at the end of the day, it was just the song that really spoke to them.
And when you're performing and the crowd are like singing along and vibing along to your song, how does that make you feel? How does the energy make you feel?
On top of the world. That's the best feeling. I think as an artist, when you, you know, when the audience knows your song word by word and you don't need to do the singing, that means that your song has reached out to so many people.
And what has been the best performance in your career so far?
Best live performance? I would definitely have to say SSC Arena Wembley.
Oh yes.
Yeah, 2016. I was 21, and it's probably my biggest performance ever. And as an artist, one of the youngest artists to have performed at that venue, I think it's one of those performances which was so good that I don't even remember it.
Wow.
It was like a blur. You know, there are certain moments in your life where you're like,
yeah.
they're so precious, but then when you think of like, okay, what really happened, what went down, and I'm like, I'm blank, I don't remember anything, but it was a beautiful night.
Don't worry, the next time that will happen will be your wedding day. In all the English songs you've written so far, which
experience saying
yes.
that?
In all the English songs that you've written so far, which is the one that you like the most?
Wow, that's a tough question.
Your fans know you.
But I mean, they're all like my babies, and to choose from my babies, I can't be like, okay, I love this, but I don't like that much. That much. I would say You is probably my most, you know, it's the closest to my heart. Yeah.
I was just thinking when you said that, like they're all my babies, and how can I choose? I'm thinking my mum chooses all the time. She always chooses my brother. And the next question is, what was Ed Sheeran's reaction to your cover of Two Step? I know we've kind of covered this already.
Yeah.
And what gave you the idea to actually choose this song?
Well, honestly, it was Ed's team that approached me, and they were like, you know, we want Armaan to do his thing on Two Step, and Ed would really like him to do his own flavor on it. And I was like, okay, I got an opportunity to do a collab with Ed Sheeran, and what can I do to like make it stand out? And I was like, okay, you know, I sing in English. A lot of people have heard me sing in English, and to an audience, when you say you're doing something with Ed Sheeran, the first thing is that they'll expect you to sing in English, because I sing in English. But I was like, no, I'm gonna do my verse in Hindi, because what if I don't get a bigger opportunity than this to showcase Hindi? And I'm like, okay, it's an international collab, it's with Ed Sheeran, I have my verse, what can I do with it? And I put in my life into that verse, literally, because I spoke about all the stuff that has happened to me in the industry, the stuff that has not been so pleasant. On the come up, you know, you see a lot of things happening to you, and not a lot of people know my journey. They obviously know that I belong to this family that's full of music. They think I've had it easy because I belong from that family. Then there are a lot of different things, because I started so young. People underestimated my talent, so a lot of these things have really like messed with my mind over the years. And I was like, okay, I have this verse with Ed Sheeran, I'm gonna say it out loud.
Now this next question I quite like, because I've interviewed this person, so I know what he's like.
Yeah.
And the question is, when can we expect a dream collaboration with you and Darshan Raval?
Oh, Darshan. Yeah, and his fans and my fans are like, you know, I feel like they're just one big family online, and they really want us to do something together. And we've always wanted to do something together. And it's just that I guess both of us are so busy with like our individual projects that we've not had time to like link up and do something. But I would love to do something with him. Yeah.
Right. We at Lyca might have to make that happen then.
Yeah.
So we've got 5 months left to the end of the year, and your fans want to know how many more songs can they expect in the next 5 months?
Even I don't know, because sometimes songs release and I'm like, oh, they've released today? Oh, okay, cool. Because I sang them a few months back and I don't know when they're releasing. So, but expect a lot of songs, a lot of non-film songs as well, independent tracks. Some big ones coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, I've dropped a surprise there.
That's very close.
Yeah.
We got a little exclusive there.
Yeah.
How do you stay away from controversy? Because there is a lot of controversy, especially in Bollywood and in, I feel like, the media industry in general. So how do you stay away from that?
I'm very smart.
Simple answer, right there.
I'm just very smart. The thing is, you know what? A lot of people, you know, especially when people interview you, and the Indian media, they throw a lot of curveballs, and you just need to know how to dodge it and like answer really like diplomatically. And I'm a great diplomatic answer, you know, interviewee. So I have dodged a lot of questions over the years and always kept myself away from controversy. But controversy does find me sometimes, and it's not so pleasant. But I have my own way to kind of like douse that fire.
I don't think I've come up with any controversial questions so far.
I'm glad.
Now, this question is actually from one of our presenters, Aldeli Ritu. She came running over to me. She goes, when you do this interview, you have to ask this question. I
Okay.
just want to know the answer. I said, okay. So, how Salman Khan chooses Kamal Khan quite a lot to sing his songs. Shah Rukh Khan used to have Abhijit a lot. Is there any actor that you feel your voice suits the best?
Wow. I think a couple of actors, I feel like my voice really suits them. Three of them that I feel like it does go well with them is Kartik Aaryan, Tiger Shroff, and Varun Dhawan.
Agreed.
I
I
think
agree with
Siddharth
that.
Malhotra as well. But I've sung for all of them. But I feel like Kartik, Varun, and Tiger. Yeah.
I feel like as well they're sort of in that realm of the same age as you. Their
I would say so.
careers are
Yeah,
upcoming, so you will develop with them as they develop as actors as
I
well.
agree.
And this question was quite interesting actually. Which song do you think is Armaan Malik's song? So I'm assuming from this question, what they're asking is there this one particular song
That
that you
defines
released
me?
and defined it? Yeah.
In Bollywood, I would say Bol Do Na Zara. That's like my most popular song. I've seen wherever I go, I know a lot of people. If you talk about an Armaan Malik playlist, Bol Do Na Zara is in the top. So yeah, Bol Do Na Zara.
And on the English front, I suppose you've only been doing that really for the last 2 years, so probably you haven't found that song yet.
Yeah, I mean that there's a whole journey to be experienced with and discovered with my English music. But I would still say like my soul kind of music would definitely Control and You are like my strongest like musical I would say identities.
And what's your life philosophy?
Life philosophy. I have a lot of philosophies. I'm known as Baba AM on my Twitter and Instagram, and like my fans know that I'm this old soul trapped in this young body. So I always have these philosophies that keep coming back. But there's not one like philosophy that I live by. It's just I like if I had to come up with something right now at this moment, I would just say I'd like to keep things very simple. Keeping things simple makes your life peaceful and happy. And I think all of us need a little bit of that in our life right now, especially after the pandemic. There's just like craziness happening. So just keep things simple. Yeah.
And what are you working on next?
I'm working on a lot of projects under my label Always Music, which I established with Nakre Nakre. So a lot of songs under that. I have a very big song coming up like I said, in the next 2 weeks, you'll be hearing about it. And there's another non-film song which I've worked on, which is not on my label, but it's something that I've been eagerly waiting for. It's a very big project again. It's a little bit in like a light classical zone that not a lot of people have heard me. So yeah, that's there. And then I'm most likely going to be kickstarting my tour in India, probably in the next 2 to 3 months.
So in that case, actually, your fans asked that question, when's the India tour coming up? And I was like, do I want to put that one in there? Do I not? What if you don't have an answer, but you just answered them anyway?
Yeah,
So...
it's going to happen soon.
And if you could collab with anyone, and don't say Ed Sheeran because we've already got there,
Yeah.
who else would you want to collab with?
Um,
Bollywood or non-Bollywood?
I think Charlie Puth.
Mm.
I love his music and doing something with him. And in Bollywood, me and Arijit Singh on a track, like a duet. That'd be
That
cool.
would be good.
That'd be epic.
That would take over our radio station, I think. We wouldn't be able to play anything else because you just have to keep playing that song over and over
Oh
again.
God. Yeah, that I'd love to do that someday.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Lyca Radio.
Thank you.
We are going to do some fun stuff with you off this YouTube channel, so they can then watch you on the Instagram as well.
Done. Let's do it.
But thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.